So this is something kind of new I wanted to try. I want to kind of do a create with me. Basically just have you guys there while I'm piddling around down here. Chat with you a little bit as I create. I mean, I suppose I could tell you what I'm doing. Go over any tips or tricks that I'm working on, you know, for anything I'm working on at the moment. And just kind of go from there. So I'm going to call it Create With Me. And it's just going to be some rambling while I create. What I'm working on right now is some insides of a cover of a journal that I'm working on. It is a travel journal, and they asked for travel and music, and I've just mainly been finding travel related stuff. And I have music stuff. I just I'm kind of feeling this as just a travel journal. So I don't know. So yeah, these will be the inside covers of a journal I'm working on. This is the outside cover. The camera and light does it no justice. I don't know if you can see, it's got like a gold trim. Not really trim. It's got gold in it. So this is kind of what I'm working on the inside cover. For that. I have my sewing machine set up, and I'm wondering if it's going to be too loud if I try to sew. I guess we can work on something else. I need to strengthen my spine here. So I'll dig around and see if I can find some out of my scraps, cardboard scraps. See if I can find any that will work. All these appear to be too short. Which I kind of hate that, because I would like to use some of my scraps. How about this guy? He's not really wide enough, but I think he'll be okay. I just need a little extra something there. So I think he'll be okay. If you've seen any of my Mass Make March videos, you will know I don't really do a lot of precise measuring. I'm not a math person. I tend to eyeball things quite a bit. So, as you sit and create with me, you'll see that even more. How I really just go with the flow. So typically when I reinforce my spines, he's a good spine on a good book, but I typically like to add a little bit of something. This is just a little piece of cardboard, and then I use athletic tape, sports tape. I really don't know what it's called. but it's flexible. And so it allows me to reinforce, but also allows that give. And it's hard to tear. So, see, it keeps my flexibility because it's a cloth tape. And I typically, depending on the width of my book, you see I went over this to this side, like on the first page, I went over to this side. So now I've got 2 pieces of tape along my spine, plus the cardboard, plus the cape, the actual spine. So I got a strong, sturdy spine under there. And this is my go-to method when I'm working on books and securing my spines. It gives me the play I need. It gives me the sturdy spine. It's just a good thing. So, I think my plan is to sew around these, and I'll attach them there. But I'm not going to play with my sewing machine just yet because I'm afraid it's going to be too loud. So I think what I'll do is set this guy aside, and I'll work on this one. This one is a travel journal as well. It is mushroom themed travel journal. If there is a such. If there is a such. So my plan, and I've made mention of this before, of how I should do a series called, you know, Make Mistakes with Me, because I'm no professional. I don't claim to be a professional. I haven't even been doing these big nice journals not even a year yet. So take that for what you will. I'm looking for my, there it is, my little awl. Take that for what you will. But anyways, I am planning to sew in these 2 signatures. They're pretty chunky. 2 signatures. And I'm planning, since I didn't do a dangle on this spine, I am planning and hoping it works to use, this will be my, or do I want to do yellow? What do you think? Another Hobby Lobby clearance. Goodness. Where's the end? Where are you? I want the yellow. Anyways, maybe I'll do yellow. I'm planning to use this stripy string, or that green is pretty, that darker green. I may do yellow. If I can find the end, I'm going to use yellow, but anyways, my plan is to do this stripy string as my spine to tie in my signatures. And my plan is to, along my signatures, because I'll have 2 strings, because I have 2 signatures, I have these mushroom beads, and my needle fits all the way through them. I have a variety of colors. They're glass beads. But my plan is to bead them along my strings, along with some little wooden beads that my needle fits all the way through. These are the dark wood that kind of match the dark wood in the cover here. To bead my spine. Now, I have done this once before with beads. I struggled with this once before, let me say. With beads. It was not fun. I was not happy. But I did it. I wasn't even happy with my results. But I did it. So, I opted, instead of doing a dangle, to do these beads along the sewn in parts of my spine. So, we could work on that. I will say, this sewing in spines, measuring all this, sewing in signatures and measuring all this up is the most difficult part for me, because I don't measure. I measure, but I don't, if that makes any sense. Excuse me. So I don't particularly like this part. So that goes back to my conversation about make some mistakes with me. This cover, I kind of did the same way. I covered it in paper as the other one. And then I did some cloth covered insides. And see, I sewed around it. I sewed in 2 fabric pockets, but they are, they're not just fabric. They're cardstock covered fabric. But 2 little pockets on the inside. And I'm quite proud of that. I'm kind of new to my sewing machine. So, that's kind of new to me. So, I'm quite proud of that. So, let's see if I can find another scrap. I probably can't be so lucky. I may just have to cut me one. Probably can't be so lucky to find the right size. And looky there. That was the right size. Again, I'm no professional. I kind of just wing this. And this is the part I'm not going to say I hate this part, but I hate this part. You'll see how I kind of just go with it. I kind of just make it work, make it happen. My other option, again, is to like get all technical and measure and figure out the half centimeters and all that other crazy stuff that I just don't like doing. Because I'm no good at it. That was a piece of my glue book. This is where that paper came from, by the way. So, excuse me. If we have this guy here, who may or may not fit, depending on, you know, depending on the measuring that you didn't do. This will be my template Goodness. See, I might probably need to do this off camera because you guys are probably sitting there laughing at me. But, you know, I thought it would be cool to see that we're not all perfect. And we don't all do things the same way. Some of us just kind of wing it and make it happen. And some of us take the time and measure and all that. So, to each his own. So, this is my template, per se. I have 2 signatures, so let's see here. I am going to these are one of these kind of things that I overthink, but then I don't think about it as much as I should, kind of thing. If that makes any sense. I overthink it, but I don't. Just bear with me. It'll all make sense. No, it won't. No, it won't. No, it won't. There is a method to my madness. Not really. And you guys are probably thinking, why is she doing that? Like, why is she spending so much time on this? And why is she... It's just the way I do it. Don't ask. Just enjoy. Enjoy the show. I'm trimming down my template because it's annoying me. And then I'm going to mark my template. So, again, I just kind of eyeball it. That's the way I eyeball. We're calling this the middle. And then we are going to go with this end. And I put my washi tape right where I need to be marking. So let's use the beauty of washi tape and move it. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's where I'll have my 3 holes. Now, I know that I actually am going to bring this down one more because my papers are quite a bit smaller than my cover. So I'm going to bring this down one more. And we're not using this. We're not using this. We are using this. Like how I did that. So if we do that, we'll be in good shape. Are you guys enjoying my method so far? So now we have 2 signatures. So I'm going to give me 1 line and 2 lines. So I want to poke my holes right here, and right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've circled where I want my holes. So and this may be easier for some of y'all to do it like this. To me, again, I'm not a mathy person, so it stresses me to figure out, oh, it's 2 3/4 inch down from the north, and it's 6 3/8 to the left, and I don't do that. I just don't do that. And for the most part, it works out okay. It's kind of off, but you know what? It's okay. So, I do use my Big Bite, a Crop-A-Dile Big Bite, for punching through my covers. I don't typically use it for punching through my signatures. And you'll see how and why in a minute. I mean, you really won't see why. My why is because of my why. My why is because every time before that I have used my Big Bite to poke my signatures, it's off. My dots are off. And it's frustrating. And so if I use an awl for my signatures, it just tends to work better. I feel like I have more control over where and how my hole goes. Mainly because, you know, when you fold your signatures, you know how the insides poke out because the way the fold goes. And so if you don't line those up exactly, you're gonna be off. And that tends to happen to me. So, and see, I'm off. A little crooked there. You can see how I'm almost to the edge there. Can't see my hole. Oh, there it is. So you can't see my hole here, but almost to the edge on these guys. But you know, I really don't think I care, because I think it'll be fine. Never once have I got good lined up holes. Probably because of the way I do it. But it works. It's not perfect. And that's okay. I never claim to be perfect. But it works. So, the way I do my signatures is, now these guys, this one, normally I would trim to make all my edges line up, but since this cover is so much bigger and sticks out further, I wasn't too concerned about uneven pages. So, all that to be said, normally I would trim my edges to where they're all flush, but on this one I've got little tabs, and I've got the pom-poms, and I've got these guys dangling off, so I'm not too concerned about it. I do want my tops and bottoms even, and I do want us all tucked where we're supposed to be. So, with that, I give us a good pinch. I like to clamp both of my sides, you know, together, so my pages don't shift around on me. And see, this is what I'm talking about. So when I use the Big Bite to do my pages. When I fold it together and make it all good and clamp it together, we're all good. See there? We're all good. But when you fold it out straight, see how we kind of get all wonky? And so when you fold it out straight to slide it in there to bite, you got this wonkiness. So I have found that it's best to poke my holes at a slight angle. And so to better do that, I use my awl. You know, so I can just slide in and poke out. So the way I do that is I am going to remove the washi tape because I'm done using it. And I am going to eyeball. Can you see me eyeballing? And this was my template. So that tells me where my holes are in my spine. And I'm coming a little bit down from the top and a little bit up from the bottom. And I'm just marking, I don't know if you can see, on my paper where my holes will be. I got my 3 holes marked. So, I got my 3 holes marked. So now, I'm so finicky. Sometimes I stand up, sometimes I sit down. Now, I think what bothers me about sitting down is I can't see up here to make sure I'm in frame. So now I'm just kind of folding I've got my awl poked right at my hole, and I kind of fold it and push through and make me a good hole. This keeps my papers lined up how I have them clipped, if that makes any sense. And I usually always do the middle one first. I don't know why. But this tends to work out better for me than doing the Big Bite. I'm sure there's some sort of reason or law and all that, but when I look, my holes that I've poked are lined up with my holes in my spine. So it works. Again, it's probably not the most accurate way to do it, or the most scientific way to do it, or even probably the correct way to do it, but it's how I do it, and it works. Again, this is not the worst part. I hate to say that I hate this, and I hate to say that this is the worst part. This is the part of junk journaling that frustrates me the most. Now I gotta figure out, because I usually mark my template top and bottom, but I didn't this time. But I could tell by the way I made my X's that this was the top. So I'm eyeballing again, coming a little down from the top and a little down from the bottom, or a little up from the bottom. And actually, you know, I think I'm not gonna use my template. I'm gonna use my other signature, so I don't end up with one higher than the other, you know, that fun stuff. So I'm just using my other signature as my template, and I've got them all matched up. They're sliding around on me, but and I'll line them up and mark my holes, and I'll fold my book a little bit and poke through with my awl. This is the tutorial you never thought you needed. Or you'll probably never use. Again, it works for me, so. And I've even got the, like the book binding, the little, it's like a little ruler thing that has the concave with the thing you put on the top that has the holes on it. I've even got that, and it doesn't work as well for me. Again, I think it's because I don't math well, and so if I have to like think about it, it does a number on me. So, stacking my signatures together, my holes are lined up together, and then they line up to where I come down a little bit and I come up a little bit. So, that tells me my signatures are going to fit. That's a good thing. Now, back to figuring out Mr. Yellow. Here's an ending here, but I think that's the end of the ending. Where are you? Can't be that hard to find. I hate to make it, no, I hate to make a new one, but I may just have to. If this guy don't cooperate with me. And I haven't used this thread before to bind a book. This is silly. So I don't even know, it may be too thick. It's some pretty thick twine. Or string or whatever. Okay, so we are going to start our own. I hate to do that, but it's making a big mess. So, and apparently I cut one from the bottom because it's pulling all the way through. This is silly. Plain silly. Tie this green back up. Might as well just take it all off. I think I made some progress. Huh, look, there's two ends. And there's another end. Oh, okay. So, the 3-hole stitch is the most simplest stitch I've figured out. You want to measure your string to tie in your signatures 3 times the length of your book. And we have 2 signatures. And we have some extra. We have our regular. So, I'm hoping this all works out the way it's supposed to. And I've already lost my needle. Oh, there it is. I say, which is not as a good thing because I have a handful of needles, but only one that fits through these beads. Now, will it fit through the beads with this stuff? I don't know. We're going to try it and see if we can even get our needle threaded with this stuff. One more. I figured that was two. Oh, it worked. That just is wonderful. Now, as you can see, this string is pretty thick. So let's just see. Aha! This is perfect. Okay, I'm excited now. This is such a cumbersome thing to do. Like I said, I've done it once. I gotta figure out, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So let's count how many of these guys we have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Of course we have 10. And I don't math well, but that really doesn't divide by 4 sections. So let's get some more of these little brown guys out here. So I'm going to take away 2 of these mushrooms. And so I'll have 2 mushrooms in each section, along with these little brown beads. 2. I'll have 1, 2, 3 beads in each section. So that's 3 times 4 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully I have 12 of these beads. I'm sure I do. 10. 11. 12. Okay, 12 little brown beads. And we have 1 too many of these guys, 2 too many of these guys. I think I'm gonna take the black guy out. Little black mushroom here. And I think I'll take one of the yellows out. I think that's what we'll do. Okay, again, this is kind of a cumbersome process, but it's so neat when you actually do it. So, I'm not really going to go over the 3-hole stitch. It's pretty common in the junk journaling world. Oh, and see, I've already forgotten that I'm doing this. I don't normally bead these. So I'm going to do a brown bead and a mushroom bead. Oh, come on, guy. Okay, this mushroom don't want to go through. Hopefully this works. There we go. So I'm going to do a brown bead, a mushroom bead, a brown bead, a mushroom bead. This guy doesn't want to go through either. Oh no. I got him through. then another brown bead. Now, there's going to be a lot of string. I guess, you know, what do you think? My idea is to have it kind of free flow to where you can move these. There's not going to be a lot of string. But, yeah. Go with my original plan here. Well, I'm struggling here. My paper's shifted, so my hole is off. Just had to line them up. Now that I think about this, let me make sure I've got my... Make sure I'm having my signatures up right. Ooh, I'm about to lose my middle guy. Get back up in here. Okay, now when you bead your strings, it poses a little trickiness to getting your signature in there really tight because it's got this play. Oh, I'm struggling with these little strings on this silk. They're in my way. Y'all see what I did? I didn't thread my bottoms. Oh boy. See, I don't normally bead my spines, as you can see, because I can't. That process is very foreign to me. Okay, brown bead, and we'll do this guy. He went on with no problems. Brown guy. And that's the problem with the glass beads, is that one busted. So that's not good at all. Dang it. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't want this glass bead to shred my thread. See what it's doing there? It's trying to cut my thread. I don't want it to do that. Okay. Okay, let's hope we can continue with this plan. Let us hope. So my glass bead busted because I was trying to pull the needle through, and it did not want to go through. So it busted on me. And my thread is kind of compromised through here. We're going to work with it. See if we can make it work. Okay, let's hope for the best on this one. This guy don't want to go through either. Dang it. I said, this guy's through the needle. He just had to get over that hump of the thread. Reason number 362 why I don't normally bead my spines. Because they normally cause me a little bit of headache somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. There we are. Okay. Now the trick is going to be getting the thread tight enough with the beads on it. So, let's try to do that. Pull tight. I'm going to see how I am over here. See, I'm going to be kind of loose. I'm okay with that. I think my strings are pretty tight, as tight as they can be. Like I said, the beads sticking up give them a little bit of play. And we'll tie us in tight here. I usually do 2 or 3 ties. Make sure I'm good. And line us up and trim us off. I'm going to take my clips off. And we have signature number 1 in. I think it's going to be cute. A little different, but cute. Okay. Now we have to hope that the rest of these guys, at least 4 of them, work. Okay. Where's my needle? And my threader. Like I said, this, just broke my threader. So I was going to title this video Create With Me, but maybe I'm on to something with them, make some mistakes with me. Because I'm making them. One right after another. We're making them. But we are having fun. And we are creating a journal. So we are just going to go with it. Okay. A brown bead. Hopefully you don't cause me any issues, but you feel kind of tight. Yep, he already started cracking. Goodness. And see, the black one is through the needle. Just had to get him over that hump, so I guess we'll use a black bead on this. He's through the needle as well. We just got to get over that hump of the thread. I'm working him a little light. Come on. I'm through my needle. I just need to get through my thread here. Maybe I should. Pull my thread down real tight. Come on. There you go. Gosh. And you know what? All that, and I didn't put a brown bead between them. Yep. We're calling this one mistakes with me. Okay. Brown bead. And we know you go on, little red. You just take a minute to get there. But you go on. Okay, goodness. Now, we are down to 3 little mushrooms, and I need 2 of them to work. And hopefully, hopefully I don't end up with 2 green ones right beside each other. But if I do, then I do. Never claim to be perfect. Never claim to be perfect at this. Come on, paper. What's the hang up? Goodness. Goodness. Okay. Down to our last little babies. I'm through the needle. I just got to get through that lump of thread. Come on. It's like right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but gotta hydrate. Okay. Let's try this again. You're right there. I know you are. Oh, goodness. Did y'all hear that? Yep, it's right there. I can see the thread right there. Just come on. You know why it's not going on? Because I didn't have a bead. Bead first. That's not why it's not going on. It just was... Don't know that these last mushrooms are going to make it on. Don't think they are. And what stinks about this is I got these glass beads from Temu. And I could probably jump online and hopefully maybe find some more. Maybe. Y'all see this? Thread's right there. It's just got one little hump he's got to get over. Yeah, there he goes. Okay. Brown bead. And I really would like for the blue one to go on. But I don't think either one of them are going to go on, really. I could see if I have a smaller needle. The problem with a smaller needle is a couple of things. I do have a smaller needle, but the problem with a smaller needle is threading that really thick thread on there. And that normally wouldn't be an issue with the threader helping us. But as you see, the threader is broken. So I wonder, I have this handy dandy guy. He feels thicker. Yeah, that won't work at all. Okay. Oh, gracious. We are solving problems here, right? Now, this guy goes, he don't go. That's not good at all. Because if I go smaller, my eye gets smaller. And I'm already Struggling. Now that one goes through the blue. So let me see. I don't think I can, because look how unraveled he is already getting. Wonder if... I don't have any wax, but I have some glue. I don't think I'll be able to. If I can thread this needle. Another thing, this needle is a sharp needle. It's already poked me twice. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. So, what do we do, Shell? What do we do? Goodness. I guess I'll go tomorrow. And get me a threader. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see. I just need this one little mushroom on here. And he busted. We're gonna try to do something here. He busted a clean cut. He's glass. Put my other bead on. We're gonna go with that right now. And then I'm gonna try to glue that piece back on. Now it will glue to the string, so I'll line them up where I want. So this little section won't be as free-flowing. But we're just gonna... we're going with it, right? The silk keeps getting in my way. Little tie. Okay. Make sure I'm not coming through the middle. Okay, come on through here. Excuse me. Okay. Now we need to make sure we're tied tight. tight as we can be. I didn't think this was going to take so long. I mean, I knew it was going to be cumbersome to try to deal with these beads on this spine. But I wasn't expecting that. I just needed to make sure that my I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm thinking. So I'm going to try to piece this little mushroom back together using Weld Bond, wood tile glass. I love Weld Bond. I'm going to line these up because once I glue this, it's going to glue to the string, and so it's going to glue the little blue guy in place. So this strand is not going to be as free-flowing as the rest of them are. Now, Weld Bond, do your magic. I think I need a little bit more glue there. And I probably need to quit touching it. If you watched any of my mask makes, you know I love glue. I'm not afraid to use glue. I'm going to leave this alone for tonight. It's kind of messy. There we go. I flipped him over so he has a little bit of pressure squishing him. And we're going to set this up somehow so he doesn't fall. Gonna need something heavier than that. Okay, so that's what my spine's gonna look like. 3 of them will be movable. One of them will not be. So there you go. I'm going to call this done for tonight. Again, because I'm going to leave this here and let this dry overnight. Hopefully in the morning when I check it, it will be quote-unquote perfect. We'll see. So, thank you for joining and creating with me. And seeing that I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. And if you're new to junk journaling, creating journals, it can be a little overwhelming and intimidating, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be. You just jump in and do it and work with what becomes of it. Guess I'll throw my threader away because he broke. And there's my good needle. So yeah, that's what we got. As I was saying, if you're new to junk journaling, if you're new to journaling, building books, all that good stuff, and it's intimidating, it doesn't have to be. You just jump in. And when mistakes happen, you work with them. Because we're not perfect, and I'm not making a perfect product, and I'm not, yeah. So that's what it is. There you go. Thanks for joining me on this first little Create With Me session. I'd like to do some more of these throughout my time because I do sometimes sit for a while and just create. And sometimes watching people create, listening along as they're doing their process, sometimes that's helpful to some people. So if I can help you, then that's all the better. So anyways, have a good evening, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.